Hi yoga friends. This is the beginning of a series of videos that I'm planning to post on my website or YouTube channel, and the first one that we're going to do today is called Body Awake, and it's a way to kind of shift your awareness from the outer world, from your work, from whatever it is that you're doing that's mentally occupying your time, and more into your body, helping you develop an attunement to what's happening inside, an awareness of your body sensations, your breath, and just helping you move more energy into your body. So we'll go ahead and get started. So lay on your backs, draw your knees into your chest, and give yourself a gentle hug. You want your knees to be about hip distance apart. You can hold on to your wrist, stay nice and loose, and then just gently start rocking side to side. Notice what you feel. The tips of the shoulder blades, the backs of the hips, the back of the head, maybe your thigh bones moving around in your hip joints. And then begin turning your breath into your nose. Long inhale, long exhale. And noticing what that feels like. And then grab your hands together, place them around your right knee, straighten your left leg, and then let your right knee open out into your natural hip turnout. Flex your left foot so you really activate that left quad, left knee lifting up, and then draw the right knee up towards the right shoulder. So you've got a stretch happening through your left hip flexor and your right hip joint. So take some Ujjayi breaths, long breathing through the nose, sending the breath to the hips. And then roll your leg over, reach the right arm out, look to the thumb of the right hand, gentle twist. So just let gravity work on this twist. Long inhale, and then as you exhale, notice how you sink a little bit more into the mat. And then come on up and we'll switch legs. So straighten the right leg, grab the left knee with both hands. Let the left knee open into your natural hip turnout. Flex the right foot, so right leg is active, and then pull the left knee up towards your left shoulder. You should feel a nice lengthening happening through your hip flexor into your quad and into your left hip joint. And then bring the knee across the body, extend the left arm out, look to the thumb of the left hand, and breathe into this twist. Exhale, release to gravity. Come on back up to center, draw your knees in. We're going to grab behind our thighs and we're going to roll end to end, neck to tailbone, massaging the length of the spine. And then roll on up into a seated position. Place your right toes behind your left heel. Knees are out to the side, hands behind your back. Sit up nice and tall. See if you can feel your sits bones underneath you. Maybe wiggle around a little bit. You can even lift your butt up off the ground. Just have that traction feeling running through the spine, crown of the head reaching up, tailbone reaching down. And then place your hands out in front of you, hollow out the belly. Imagine there's a little beach ball in your lap. You're hollowing out the belly. You're curling over that beach ball and pointing your nose towards your toes. And big breath into the back, into the upper back. Imagine that as you inhale, the back of the heart is lifting up through your shoulder blades. Come on up and switch your legs. Place your left toes behind your right heel. Hands behind the hips. Sit up nice and tall. Let your knees get soft. Your hips relax. Find the tips of your shoulder blades. Again, you can kind of wiggle around and feel them. Maybe even lift yourself up off the ground. And then set yourself down. Place your hands out in front. Hollow out the belly and curl over that little beach ball in your lap again. Dropping your nose towards your toes. Inhale through the back of the heart, lifting the shoulder blades open. And come on up and swing your legs around and find your way to your hands and knees. Fingers spread nice and wide, hands underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. We'll do some cat-cow. So start by dropping the tailbone, lift the back of the heart up, draw the navel into the spine and look to your belly. And then take a few breaths here, letting the breath on the inhale expand the back. And on the exhale, press into the palms and the knees and the feet. And then reverse. into cow pose, curling that tailbone up, drop the rib cage down, lift the chest and the gaze, look forward. Let the breath expand the belly, expand the chest. And next, exhale back to cat, back of the heart up, look to the belly. And reverse back to cow, curl the tailbone up, drop the rib cage down, lift the gaze, lift the navel. And then come into neutral. Neutral is a straight spine, navel's drawing up into the spine, supporting the core. You're gonna lift the right heel up to hip height. You're gonna lift the left arm to the left ear. And then see if you can lift your navel in a little closer to your spine and hollow out the belly. And then point the toes, lift the fingers, the toes, and the gaze. Activate the back side of the body. Plant the right knee underneath the right hip. Reach the left armpit close to the right knee. And roll up to the left shoulder and the left ear, reaching the right arm skyward. If you feel any tension in your neck, just move your sits bones back towards your heels and keep the twist happening through the shoulders. Just take your head off the ground. If it feels okay, however, that's all right. You can reach that right hand around towards that left hip pocket, roll the shoulder away from the ear and get a nice twist. Breathing into the twist, into the shoulders. Wherever you have sensation or resistance, you can always visualize the breath going to those places. Okay, same thing on the other side. So hands back underneath the shoulders, knees back underneath the hips. We're gonna lift the left heel up, right arm to the right ear, drop the gaze, lift the navel up, strong core, and then point the toes, lift the fingers, the toes, and the gaze, activate the back of the body, and then plant the left knee and reach the right armpit towards that left knee, rolling up to the right ear and right shoulder. Left arm reaches skyward, or you can wrap it around to your right hip. And don't forget, you can move your sits bones back to keep the twist in the shoulders. Tension out of the neck. And come on back to your hands and knees. We're going to turn our fingertips to face our knees and bring your knees a little closer together. And see if you can sit back on your heels, stretching through your arms, your forearms. This is really important, especially if you've been at your computer all day, if you've been writing or doing things that you use your fingers and hands. It's one of the main injuries, workplace injuries, carpal tunnel syndrome. And keeping the circulation happening through the hands is really important, through the wrists, the fingers, the forearms. So you can do this at your desk. You should do it multiple times throughout the day. Flip your hands around, place the backs of the hands on the mat now. And again, finding a little movement, doing a little rocking figure eight. It's just really important to keep the circulation going for your hand and arm health. And then just sit up on your heels, clasp your hands together, and just roll your wrists. Get the crackles out. Switch direction. Put one hand out in front of you, and then take the fingertips of the other one and draw those fingertips back towards your face. Keeping your arms straight, your wrist straight, stretching through the wrist. And then switch hands. And then when you're ready, we're going to turn our toes underneath and sit up on our heels. And some of you are going to not like this. It's going to hurt. So be really gentle. You can keep your hands on the mat and just weight your feet a little bit. If it feels okay, maybe you can sit up on the heels. And if it feels pretty fine, you can reach your arms up. Get a nice big stretch and rock side to side and try to weight through all 10 toes. Even if your hands are on the mat, you can do this. You use your feet a lot in yoga, so stretching out your toes, getting the circulation in your feet is a really good thing to do before your practice. So rocking side to side. And again, just taking inventory. Notice what you feel. If your arms are up, go ahead and bring them down. We're going to step up into our first downward dog of the day and just walk in place. Bending one knee and then the other, reaching the opposite heel towards the mat. Try to bring your head between your arms. Nice straight spine. Feeling the length happening through the hamstring, through the calves, into the feet, the spine. And then slowly walk your feet up towards your hands. Separate your feet hip distance. Bend your knees deeply. Rest your rib cage on your thighs. Grab onto your elbows. Let the crown of the head dangle down, spine nice and long. And just use the breath here. As you hold this pose, let the breath do the lengthening work.
And then go ahead and release the arms, bend the knees deeply and round all the way up, one vertebrae at a time, stacking your spine as you go. And then rolling your shoulders up towards your ears, back and down. And your body should be awake now. So we're going to move into our next phase, which will be Surynamaskar A. And if you don't have time to join me in that, then your body is awake and you can move on to your workday, and perhaps you can join us for another part of the sequence later. Namaste.